So we're chatting now with the president of Frank Speech, an entrepreneur, a radio host, a talk show host, done a lot in his life, Mike Lindell, and obviously here on the first day of the Republican National Convention. So, Mike, if I could just ask you, take me back to Saturday around 6 o'clock. Where were you, and how did you hear about that with the assassination attempt?
I was getting off my plane. We were landing, and I got a text, and then I got a call from someone screaming on the phones with it. It was, so I assumed it was over. It was devastating. I just kind of collapsed, and I started praying, and shortly after that, I'm getting all kinds of texts, and then different texts said he raised his arm, everything's good, and that gave me a peace, and then that gave me a peace, and they got off the plane, and then I started finding out from people directly that were there.
And Mike, you're a guy who obviously has been through so much in your life. You've seen the lows, you've seen the highs, and this country has gone through that. In many ways, it's going through it right now. But
right.
Trump has talked about that he wants to have his speech here at the RNCP about uniting the country and
absolutely.
uniting America. What can we do to have that happen?
I've said he already is the biggest uniter in history for the U.S. But way before this, he's a uniter. And here's what's happened. You go back to December of 2019. I go travel all over this country, and I talk to Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives. The people remember how good it was back then, and consumer confidence at an all-time high. It was a short time ago. They remember that. And why do they remember? All the bad things are happening now. And I always tell our real president, I said, these are actually doing even more good because it's opening people's eyes finally to see, wow, because they've been brainwashed for a long, long time. And so you have two buckets going on, and this is what I always tell them. We have a bucket where people are jumping in as things keep happening, just like this assassination attempt. More people are jumping in there now. And I've joked with them before, you keep getting attacked. They said you're going to end up with more votes than voters like Pennsylvania always has. They just keep jumping in from both sides. I do a thing called Flipping Democrats where I'm doing I went to the inner cities, and I talked to the Democrats that have voted for Biden that are now voting for Donald Trump. Wow. And across the board, a lot of them say, and we ask them why, and they say, the illegals are stealing our jobs. That was one of the biggest things we're hearing, and their eyes are getting open too. And I have family members, their eyes are getting open, even more so when things were going good, now. And then of course we have this other bucket, and that's the biggest bucket, which really yesterday was a divine thing that God gave us grace again. We're in the biggest revival for Jesus Christ in history. There's no other time more than this. And what you've seen yesterday, that's the uniting of the people, but not just around our great real president, but it's getting people, everybody knows that was a divine thing that happened. That was a miracle, an absolute miracle.
Oh, God bless. He talks about how he very rarely looks away from the crowd.
Right,
at that moment. So any little insight, maybe who would your pick be if you were going to be the one making that announcement for vice president? And maybe it'll be Mike Lindell for all we know.
No. I would do anything he asked me to do, but I've got other things that I think when we get in there that I would really like to do. I want to secure our election platforms, finish doing that, get rid of the electronic voting machines, get to paper ballots like all the other countries that are out there.
We've got to secure.
France, UK just had a great election, and they've outlawed them, and we've got to get to that. And but as far as VP pick, this is the first time I'll say it. I think Vance would be good.
Okay.
I think Vance would be good. I had other ones, but I'm not going to. One that wasn't even on his list, but she's not going to be there. But no, I think JD Vance will be good. I've met him, and I've met most of them, and I think he would be the number one. I think he has the energy level, and he's in the and
he's got that populist spirit.
And he's all in. And so I'm kind of praying that's him. I don't know the other. I know which ones I wouldn't want, and I don't want to say it.
Yeah.
I'm always kind of nice that way.
You're smart that way. Well, Mike, thank you so much for the time. And what are you most looking forward to this week in particular?
I want to get the word out. I'm here with my Frank Speech platform, and I want to get the word out. We have a new plan that I put into play with our plan, and that is to request everybody to grab their ballots, to get their mail-in ballots and don't open them. Now you're pulling them from the dirty voter rolls, and then when you go to vote on election day, if they tell you haven't voted, now you have the evidence we need. It's identity theft. We didn't have that in 2020 and 2022. Everybody couldn't wrap their head around the evidence they don't let you see inside the machine. So we're announcing this plan. We've got people in all 50 states and all 3,143 counties, but now we need the people to get on board. You're just securing your ballot, you know. And you hear arguments all the time of, should we vote day of? Should we vote early? And, everybody shifted. The Republicans shifted, said, hey, let's do like the Democrats do. Well, I don't believe in that. I believe it's harder for them to steal on day of. But now with this added in there, hey, then if you got your ballot and something comes up where you can't vote on day one, at least you can vote. Yeah. And we've checked it out, so you can still vote. It doesn't mean you have to vote early or anything. We've checked all 50 states. So I'm excited to get that announced. I'm excited to hear the VP pick. And I'm excited to see the most courageous man I've ever met on that stage. And, he's just amazing.
Should be a pretty big pop from the crowd.
Absolutely. Whenever I talk to him, that is who he is. No one else would be in that moment in time. Just the courage he displays. Courage is contagious, everybody. And, this is just another example. We get one shot at this of saving our country. This is it. And everybody can't sit back. And so I encourage everybody to go to LindellPlan.com. Go there. We've got everything. It's a one-stop shop. Check it all out. LindellPlan.com. And I've really got to get that out there. And we're going to be in every county in the United States up to the election. So you can get involved. We have our Frank Social app there that it's an election app. So I'm encouraged that everybody gets involved now.
Secure elections, America first, prayer.
Absolutely, praying, keep on praying,
Mike?
right? And you know what? I'm going to tell everybody, if you can't go out there now, there's two things. If you can't go out and evangelize now for our great Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and people are looking, they don't look to God when things are going good. That's usually when things are going bad. And the other thing, if you can't go out and try and argue the points now of politics, I mean, come on. I mean, you talk about uniting. Remember, everybody, when they make a decision out there, like when they, administration, when they first came in, that opened up the borders with all the fentanyl coming in, shut down the pipelines. When you do things, politicians do things that doesn't help either party or of the people I'm talking about. There's a hidden agenda, and it's a very evil agenda. And that's what I say. That combined with our great uniting the country, it's uniting the people.
That's right.
And we need to get through this election, and no matter what happens, we need to be united in the fact that we've got to secure our elections, because everything manifests from there. You can always change out what's in, because remember, they're elected for the people. Not, so
of
this
the people,
is
by the
people. That's exactly right. So
Frank Lindell and Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell of Frank's Speech. So, Mike, thank you so much for the time.
Thanks a lot.
We'll see you on the floor.
All right. Thanks, guys.